Radiation glowing, mutants all around. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but we know no matter what, we'll always have the time. Talk about the wastelands, talk about the lore, talk about surviving radiation storms, talk about the doubts, talk about the fears, talk about the game we all love. It's Fallout through the years. That Fallout show.
Well, hi everybody, and welcome to That Fallout Show, episode 55, Suca-Stash. I am Rick McVick, and joining us this evening is Shaline.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing. I feel like
Good.
that's the old person response. Like,
I'm around.
yeah, I feel like I should be like an old guy in a polo shirt giving that answer. Just like,
Nice. Well, thank you for joining us this evening. Vendor was not able to make it. He's up in Canada, I think either shoveling out his house or something, or doing some important COVID work, because he's better than we are, honestly. I'm not sure. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us this Friday evening in the chat room tonight, joining us live here on Twitch, or if you're listening to this after the fact, hi, thank you for downloading. Leave us a review. We don't have any. Speaking of things that you could do to help the show, you can help promote the show by sharing us on your social media. You can send us some emails. You could like, subscribe, and retweet our thingamabobs. And then you could tell your friends about us and host us on Twitch and other such stuff. Shaline, do you like that segue? Did you see how smooth?
it was really good.
Right in there,
Yeah.
glided in like Astro Glide. On tonight's show, we've got some news. We have gameplay and some lore. And before we get into all that, we have some new Discordians. Shaline, could you say howdy doody?
Yes, we would like to say hello to some lovely new people in the Discord, including Big Lion and 420 Buds. So
Nice.
welcome to Discord. Welcome to the community.
Welcome.
Let's see. What else is going on in the Discord lately? I think the Holiday Challenge channel is new.
I think so.
Yes.
I don't know if Gift Wars was around by the time we did one of these.
I don't think it was. We've got a GIF Wars channel, which is just 24 hours of a bombardment of zany GIFs at all times.
Yeah.
It's very silly. And the Holiday Challenge channel is where Vendor has been posting a daily holiday-themed challenge. Sometimes it's photos, sometimes it's stories, but it's always a good time.
Oh, good. Yeah, it would be nice to see some next time Vendor's on. We're gonna have to, maybe next week we'll do some Discord stats. I'm curious to see where we're all at. Who's the top chatter?
I don't think it's me anymore.
I don't know, especially with GIF Wars. That'll change things around a good bit. That's gonna.
Yes.
I'm not as active in GIF Wars. Every time I look in there, I've like lost the plot of what it is that's going on. I got
Yeah.
to cycle through and figure out what's going on. But yeah. So, anywho, I think that's all the housekeeping that I can think of. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get on. Oh, I did want to say, every time I see the Big Lion screen name, I think Big Iron. It's a...
I think you should say Big Lion to the tune of Big Iron, like Big Lion, Big Lion.
See, you already did it. I don't have to. Isn't that great? See how that works?
Yes.
News.
If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment.
Well, what happened in the world of Fallout, Shaline? Tell us all about it.
Okay, so today there was some big news. Usually we have this little communication that Bethesda puts out called Inside the Vault. They usually put this out on Thursdays. This time, it wasn't released until today because it was so jam-packed with information that it took them an extra day to get it together. And there is so much to talk about. I'm very excited about it. So Inside the Vault talks about season 3 and some quality of life update previews. So the first thing that we address is the new season and the new scoreboard. It is called The Scribe of Avalon for season 3.
And that's totally Doctor Who, by the way.
Is it?
Oh, like she has like this like Sonic looking quill. It's totally Doctor Who.
I don't know Doctor Who, so I don't like Doctor Who.
Literally, that is a plot device in one of the seasons of like once the Doctor's name is said, the end of the world, end of the universe comes. So like the ultimate question, and Doctor's like, what question? And he goes, Doctor Who, and it was like, it's great. I'm getting chills because that whole like Matt Smith episodic series was just perfect. Anyway,
that is so funny. I feel like Doctor Who was probably a first baseman when he played baseball.
He could have. He's a time traveler, so he was probably there. I did. Yeah. Who's on first? Yes, he is.
Who's on first? But the Scribe of Avalon, this, of course, is based on the astoundingly awesome tales. The Intrepid Time-Traveling Historian. This kicks off on December 15th, and you will... the Intrepid Time-Traveling Historian herself is K.D. Inkwell, and she will be investigating the mysteries behind... technologic advancements in the medieval civilization of Avalon. And of course, there are many, many rewards that will be available. A reward for each of the 100 ranks of the season, themed cosmetics, camp items, in-game currencies, perk packs, consumables, and more. And there are also some new types of rank up rewards, like Light Allies, which will be available for the first time. And also there are some bonus rewards for Fallout First members at certain milestones. So to talk about... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's two things. First of all, another connection with Doctor Who. He's a time traveler. So, boom. The other thing I wanted to say was I have watched too much Austin Powers in my life to let K.D. Inkwell go without thinking of Felicity Shagwell.
I see.
And it's all I hear in my head is just such a innuendo type. It's bad. It's my life.
You're very silly.
That's what I have to deal with.
Very silly.
Well, this is a very silly season, as you're gonna describe, especially with the light allies.
Yeah, yeah. So season 3 reward highlights, we've got cosmetics like Guild of Antiquities and Vertigard Power Armor paints, some K.D. Inkwell themed cosmetics and weapon skins, and items for your camp like a gold collectron station and a red rocket vending machine. And the light allies are a new thing. So these allies will offer some benefits at your camp, like healing or providing food instead of sending you on daily quests like the allies that we have now. So the first one of these allies is Yasmin Chowdhury, and Yasmin is a cooking vendor, and she will replenish your hunger and thirst once every 24 hours. And also she has uncommon and sometimes rare cooking recipes for sale. The second ally is named Solomon Hardy, and Solomon sells medical supplies, and he will also heal your HP, rads, and diseases in exchange for caps. And this is something that I really appreciate because it just doesn't feel like Fallout if I can't go to a doctor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's something that's always bothered me a little, that I can't go somewhere and be cured. Even before NPCs were part of the game, I felt like there should have been
like
some medical
like an
robots.
auto doc. Yeah,
an auto doc something.
Like it would be really cool to see a vendor bot walking around that's name is Fisto.0, and it's a medical bot.
So like is that like a Marvin Gaye song there? Is that
what?
Sexual healing?
Yow. That's a little. I just feel like I feel like you'd strain a little bit, like sexual healing, a little bit with that bot. Anyway, going back to the whole like goofy last name thing, we have Chowdery, like Chow, and she's the cook.
Oh yeah.
And then Hardy, like you're a hardy person, is the doc. Keeps you hardy.
I see what you've done. I see what you've done there.
I did.
Yeah.
They did it.
That's
I didn't.
great.
You don't think that was intentional?
Yeah, you pointed it out. It has to be.
That's my whole thing. So like the inkwell, and she carries a quill, and then we have Chowdery and Hardy. Maybe this is like a nice, really distant homage to Sean Connery's 007 years of like Octopussy, and all those goofy names that they had.
I think it's fun.
It is fun. It is. It really is.
Backpack flares will also be coming with this season 3 update. So you can add some cosmetic backpack flares at an armor workbench. And the antique speed bag. So this is like a punching bag, a speed bag that you can build at your camp. And it will give you a temporary boost to agility in much the same way that the weight bench gives you a boost to strength.
You think it's going to be broken when they implement it?
Almost certainly, yeah. That's something that I was debating whether or not I wanted to bring it up. Like,
of course,
all this exciting stuff is very exciting, but what's it going to introduce? Like, what is the other side of the monkey's paw? Like,
right.
it's always something goes horribly wrong, and I just wonder what will be the price of these improvements.
I know. I have
what
some.
What will it cost?
I have some opinions on some of the stuff, like the QOL stuff that we'll get into later.
Mm-hmm. Perfect bubblegum is one of the new rewards. You can choose some perfectly preserved bubblegum to completely replenish your hunger and thirst.
What?
And remove the need to eat and drink for an hour.
Bubblegum replenishes your thirst?
I mean, I can see that.
I mean, I know you get more saliva when you chew it. Maybe it's like
It doesn't improve your hydration, but it helps you not feel thirsty.
I'm having flashbacks to when I was a child in the back seat and my sister was in the front passenger seat, and I was at that age where you're like, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry. And my sister would always turn around and go, drink your spit. So I'm having flashbacks to those childhood memories.
I see.
Thanks, Fallout.
I see. Yeah.
It's a weird. That's
coins.
weird. That's so weird.
You can get perk coins as a reward to help level up your legendary perks.
Oh, that is helpful.
And they have some pictures of some of the things. So we've got the power armor paints that are going to be available. They're fine. I mean, they're power armor paints. I've achieved the donut power armor paint. I have the pink sprinkles donut power armor paint.
Are you kind of done?
I don't ever need another power armor paint. I'm never going to use another one.
Yeah. That backpack though is. Did you see that?
Yeah, the backpack though is not a reward, is it? I believe that's the one that came with the Brotherhood pack, isn't it? Or is that a different one?
There is a reward. If you look at the. Somewhere the rewards are laid out a little bit better.
Okay.
There's either a different skin for it or it's that backpack, but it's got the two whirly bird blades on it, and that'd be so cool. I hope it like goes brrr, like it makes a goofy noise as you fly away.
It would be very fun. We've got images of the 2 new allies, and I think it's a pretty horrifying that the cook is just absolutely filthy. She's so dirty. Just wash your damn hands, lady.
She's just fingering that meat all up with the nasty hands.
She's really gross. She's very, very dirty.
And you see the doctor's look that he's given is like, I don't know about that.
It's because she's visible from where he is.
That's what I mean.
And he's like, oh snap.
Yeah.
The red rocket vending machine is pretty cool.
Yes,
I like that.
I do like that.
I'm a big fan of the golden Collectron. I think he's very elegant.
I didn't even notice he was golden until now. I hope the neon. So for those of you listening, the Red Rocket vending machine has like an espresso machine on one side, a refrigerator and a gas pump, and then the machine in the middle, and then there's this metal swooping arc that goes up like the backblast of the rocket, and there's a rocket overhanging it with like a mobile of planets and stuff. But in the holes of the arch, I really hope that those little neon rings light up. Like,
that would be fun.
That'd be really
cool.
really
fun.
But however, I tend to set my standards really high with what I expect from stuff I buy from the Atom Shop. I'm still mad about the classical jukebox. So
yes,
I'll wait till I see one of those in the wild.
I really like this golden Collectron because he reminds me of C-3PO.
He should have one red arm then.
Will we ever learn the story of the one red arm?
With all the Disney stuff that they're coming out with right now, there is Anakin, Christian, whatever his name is, and
Hayden Christensen
and Ewan McGregor are doing an Obi-Wan standalone either movie or series about what happens.
It's a series, I believe. Yeah.
I saw somebody who was like, "Isn't this too many Star Wars shows?" And the answer is no.
No, there are never too many Star Wars shows. Nope. I will inject it into my veins. I'm ready.
Jeez. I thought you were just a junkie on the game. I didn't realize this was IRL here.
And then there's an image of the speed bag, which looks like a ton of fun. Some weapon skins. And after that, they launch into some discussion about a quality of life update that is planned for January. So there's a lot to cover here, and I'm excited to dive into these, Rick, and I think you are too.
I am.
So this is going to be one of the first things coming up in 2021, and the first one makes me feel like a giddy schoolgirl. I'm so excited. Stash increase. They are planning to increase the stash limit by 50% up to a maximum of 1,200 pounds.
You can hold almost all the things.
I'm going to store so many things. I'm going to put all the things in my stash. I will stash the things that will be magnificent.
How long do you think from when they implement this update to when the Reddit forums pop up with "It's still not enough"?
Immediately. For me personally, I anticipate 3 days.
3 days? Man, you're generous. I was very excited when I saw the stash increase, thus the name of the show. So, this combined with Fallout First, if you ever really wanted a reason why you should get Fallout First, it's for the unlimited junk storage.
Oh, absolutely.
So
that's so important.
Yeah, so that combined with the unlimited junk storage is going to be just, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Splendid. Another splendid thing is something that's going to help us manage our inventory so that we don't overload our stash immediately. Stack weight. So large stacks of item like food, chems, and ammo. Whenever you select a stackable item in your inventory, the item details will show you the weight of the individual item, but it will also show you the weight of the total stack. So you can see what weighs a lot. You know, when you're out of space, you know, you can be like, okay, why do I weigh so much? And I tell you it's the carbs. You won't have to ask anymore. You'll be able to go straight to it and say, oh, it's these 942 rataways. That's what the problem is.
That weigh an equivalent of 300 pounds.
Yes. No more debating whether it's the carbs that have caused us to weigh so much. So that's going to be really handy. They've also put in some Pip-Boy updates, or they will put in Pip-Boy updates. I phrased that as if it was already happening, and it hasn't.
It's coming.
But it will come, so they tell us. And basically, they've added new tabs to the Pip-Boy menu, which is something that I've really wanted. One of them is a new tab, which I think is going to be extremely useful. That collects everything for your most recent play session, everything that's new during your current play session. And that'll be really good for the times when I mean, heavens forbid there's a bug of some kind in daily ops and it doesn't tell you what new things you've earned. You can just check your new tab and there it'll be. You can
Yeah.
see what you got.
Yeah.
And
That's
there's
going to be awesome.
a new tab for armor. So armor is split off into its own tab separately from apparel, which is a huge, huge deal for me. It drives me nuts having armor and apparel in the same tab.
Yeah.
So I like that. Food and drinks will be split into a separate tab from aid. So I appreciate that as well, because the aid tab, there's just so much there. It takes ages to scroll through it, just absolutely ages. So it'll be a good thing.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder how many tabs are going to be too many, but I really like the changes they're doing here. I really do, especially that new tab, because there's no, like, most RPGs or loot and scoot games, the new item will shine or have a little marker that says, hey, this thing's new, and then you look at it and the marker goes away. Well, this doesn't have that, so now at least they're going to put it in their own little section. It's going to be great.
Indeed.
And then they're separating the armor versus clothing out, so that way you can see what's going on. You don't have to scroll through all the Fashion masks and stuff you keep on you because your stash box is full, and to get to the Vanguard stuff at the bottom. So I think it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to these.
You know what they've overlooked, though?
Uh-oh.
Key ring. They need to give us a key ring
Oh,
for
why
all
do
those
you
keys.
need it? Oh, yeah, because, I missed the key ring. That was nice, because you're like, do I have this key? Look through. Although you can tell, like, I never looked at that because I always just looked at the door, and if the door said requires key, I'm like, well, I don't have it. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
What did you use the key ring for?
Mostly it just kept the keys separate from the rest of my MISC, and I wasn't collecting multiple keys.
Oh, so that's it. Okay.
Yeah. Now, the way that this game is, I have like 6 of everything.
Yes.
And I don't need them.
As long as it doesn't weigh anything.
I mean, it doesn't, but it's the principle. It's the principle of the thing.
Okay.
Vending machine map previews. So when you hover over another player's camp to see what they've got in their vending machine, it will now show the number of 1, 2, and 3-star legendary weapons and armor that they have selling, and it will no longer display empty categories. So
That's cool.
this will give you much better idea of what people have in their vending machines.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically that's it.
That's really cool.
They say here, we are hard at work on this update, so we aren't ready to announce a release date just yet. However, we hope you will join us for a new round of playtesting in the public test server next year. And that's it for quality of life. Did you have any other discussions about quality of life updates?
No, I think this is excellent. The new tabs are going to be awesome. I am very stoked to see the duplication glitches that come from these. And yeah, that's where my head went as soon as I was like, oh, this is going to be great for those of us who aren't trying to break the game. And for those who are trying to find all the little nooks and crannies to break the game, they're going to love this.
Yeah,
So.
I felt immediately, a lot of trepidation because I want all of these good new things. I want the good, lovely new things, but there will be a price. There is always the price.
Technical data.
And yes, I miss technical data.
Did too. That was the price we paid.
Yes. Who knew? Who
And
knew that the
PvP.
cost of brotherhood would be technical data?
So, it's yeah.
Well, Rick, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get a little bit into the Christmas spirit. The girls at my office decorated today. They put up a Christmas tree.
Oh.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care. It was lovely. They did a lovely job setting up some fabulous holiday decorations. And that made me feel like maybe taking part in some kind of a festive event. And fortunately for me, Holiday Scorched are returning to Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So they will have some Christmas gifts. Some of the Scorched will be wearing festive attire. Some of them have Santa suits on. Some of them have little snowflake suits, which are very cute. And this event begins next week on Thursday. When you hear the sound of jingle bells, you can find one of these specially attired Holiday Scorched, and they all have a holiday gift that you can unwrap. The gifts will no longer be tradable, which I understand they had to do this to combat all the duplication that people were doing. But it was really fun last year trading gifts with people. I enjoyed that. They have added some new plans to the possible drops for the Holiday Scorched. I'm looking forward to seeing what those new plans are. And
Nice.
you can get a chance at some rare things. You can also purchase wrapping paper from vendors around Appalachia in the same way that you could purchase the Mole Miner treasure pails, empty pails, and craft them. So you can craft your own holiday gifts and get your own prizes that way. So this starts.
I love how it turns into like a Schrodinger's cat kind of thing. Like you close the box and you're like, boop, I wonder what's inside. Could be anything now. I don't know. I'm not in it, so I can't see what's inside of it.
It's really fun.
I also like the idea that like you kill a Scorched and you're like, ooh, Christmas time. Whips out knife. Ooh, present.
Oh my goodness. What do you think? Okay, so the mole miners, they're gathering up loot, right? For Mamerg, presumably. They are her field teams that gather up the loot that she sells in her store. That's why they have these pails with their lunch and a couple of other goodies in them. But why do the Scorched have holiday gifts? Do they have a bit of festive spirit? And we're killing the bit of joy that's left in these Scorched.
Clearly, in this universe, Santa Claus exists.
But it's Claus like
well, and he's also a Scorched himself. So it's going to be like reminiscent of Futurama with Santa Claus, where he came to like kill everybody or whatever, and he's like a robot. It's going to be like that. That would be really weird to like see an arc in Christmas time. They had like, you could look up at certain times and see Santa's sleigh going over the sky. And I really thought that'd be really cool of them to do in this. It's just like every once in a while you'd look up at night and see Santa go whoosh, streak across the sky. It is a weird festival.
Yeah, I just wonder, because I feel like it's consistent. The mole miners with their pails, it's consistent, but it doesn't make sense why these Scorched are dressed festively, why they are carrying presents. Are the presents for other Scorched? Are they intended for other Scorched, or are they somehow? Do they remember? Do they have some kind of memory of the holidays and they just want to spread cheer and we're murdering them for it?
I like that idea that like for a split second before they tear your face off, there's like a tear that rolls down their eye because they remember like White Christmas coming on the radio and it was snowing outside in West Virginia. And yet here they are with green crystals growing out of their face. I feel like if...
We always take this to such a dark place.
Of course. I feel like if we asked genuinely Bethesda for lore on this, they would go, it's a game. I think it's just for fun. I can't find...
Of course it's for fun.
There's no stretch of the lore of like, oh, so you see Arctos Pharma had this experiment going on where they had like these auto searching like Santa suits for like Santas in malls, that when they went to the malls, the suits would just like cling onto them and produce gifts. And so they had test subjects and now they broke out of Arctos Pharma. There you go. There's your lore. Auto present producing Santa outfits that were developed by Arctos Pharma.
Okay, We are going to have, okay, Rick, stay with me here. We're doing a thing now. We are
right.
going to revive the TFS challenge for 1 month only.
Oh, are we now?
Yes, we are. I would like your best photos of the Holiday Scorched, your best screenshots of Holiday Scorched. You can be in the photos with them or not, as you prefer. Holiday Scorched photos. And along with this, I want a brief explanation of what you think the lore behind the Holiday Scorched is.
There you. Okay,
You
all
can
right.
send those to us on Twitter using the hashtag TFS Challenge, or you can send them via email to info@wejustlovegames.com, info@wejustlovegames.com. And I really hope that you guys participate in this one because I can't wait to hear your lore theories.
I like that. Do you want me to say what the plans are? Do you want to go over the new rare plans, or do you not want to do that on the?
I want to know what they are personally.
All right. Why don't you talk about the charity stream just to promo
Okay.
that, and I'll pull up the list.
So also Bethesda will be hosting a charity stream to benefit Toys for Tots. And that will take place on December the 17th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/Bethesda, twitch.tv/Bethesda. And the stream will run from 1 Pacific to 4:30. That's not what it says down here. We're getting multiple times here. But Pete Hines, Jessica Finster, and Devin McCarthy will be playing some new characters and doing a Nuka Shine race back to Vault 76, much like we did for our Halloween event. And your donations for Toys for Tots can affect the race by making the host stop to have to perform an activity like blowing up balloons or slamming another Nuka Shine. So
Nice.
This sounds like a really fun idea for a charity stream. We wish them all the best. Toys for Tots is an extremely worthy cause, and I hope that some of you folks will stop by and donate to the cause if you can.
Awesome. Yes. Donate if you can, and be sure to watch it. All right. I've got the list for the festive rewards here for 2020. And we're just going to start from the tizzy. Currency, you can either get, let's see here. You can either get, let's see, there's the handmade bag. There's a large holiday gift. There's a couple different versions of this. And depending on which one you get, so you'll get caps and script out of some of them. I'm just going to go through the ones. I'm not going to go through what bags are going to have what in them, so screw that. All right, so caps and script. There's some junk that you're going to be able to get, and it ranges from wooden blocks to rocket ships to toy cars
Like
and board
toys?
games. Yes, there are toys. The junk, so you get the Autopsy board game, basketball, baseball glove, a broken camera, because apparently Santa sucks this year, Catch the Commie board game, chessboard, coal. Coal. You can get coal.
That's wonderful.
Giddy up.
I'm going to leave bags of coal on your doorstep for Christmas.
Giddy Up Buttercup parts, Jangles the Moon Monkey, new toy car, teddy bears, one of 12 possible variants, toy alien, toy car, toy rocket ship, Unstoppables board game, and various wooden blocks. Apparently for the parents, they're not left out either, because you can get all kinds of alcohol from these things: Blackwater Brew, bourbon, cranberry moonshine, mountain honey, New River Red Ale, Oak Holler Lager, Old Possum, Pickaxe Pilsner, Stim Pack. Ooh, talking about slamming stuff in your vein. Vintage Nuka Shine, vodka, whiskey, and wine. All kinds of Stim Packs, Radaway, purified water, grenades for the sporty.
I mean, that's what I want for Christmas.
For the-
Who doesn't want a nice brag grenade for Christmas?
For the sporty folk. Molotovs. Plasma grenades, floater grenades. Ugh, can we stop with the floater
I
grenades?
know.
They sound like wet, pathetic farts, and they don't do anything.
I feel like they love floater grenades, but no one loves floater grenades.
They're awful.
Stop.
It's
We
like when a
don't
frag
want
grenade
them.
doesn't go off. It's like,
Yes, it's like the fireworks got wet, and they're just. Oh,
and Dad
I
had
hate
beans at the same time. So here are the holiday plans. These are rare. You could get the plan for the Santa Crash, the Winter Icicle Lights, the Musket Stack Monument, Mole Rat Wind Chime, Condemned notification sign, Princess Castle pink sleeping bag, Jaguar pantsuit. I want that one.
There's a Jaguar pantsuit?
Apparently there is.
Sounds lovely.
The tulip sky blue paint. Oh, sorry. The tulip sky blue pantsuit, the communist commander outfit, the communist commander hat, the red truck ceiling light, and the Brahmin plushie. There's also,
I am very interested in this tulip outfit as well.
I'm a little upset that there's not more Christmas items in this. They don't seem to be really decorative for Christmas.
The things that they added are not very Christmassy. Because the Santa Crash and the icicle lights, they were already existing in the game.
You can also get taxidermy plans like the deer skull, death claw head, and a bunch of other stuff that we probably already have.
If you
now.
somehow possibly do not have one of the taxidermy plans, you can get some of those.
Also, they do have the sitting or standing gorilla. I think those are kind of rare. The actual gorillas.
Ish.
I don't have any of them.
I didn't have the sitting gorilla, I think. But I was helping Archon mule some plans a couple weeks ago, and he had like 14 of them. So
wow.
I have one now.
Okay. Nice. Well, good. That's if you can find your way onto the data mining Discord server, they always keep you up to date with the latest stuff that they found, and they're the ones that have all of the supplies listed of what's going to be in the packages, which packages have what percentage chance to find them, and they do a lot of work on there. So shout out to those guys, because that's where I pull the list. All right, moving on. We have Fan Wars. I saw this article pop up on Polygon, and I was a little curious about it. I don't know how old it is. Not that old, actually. 2 days old. So, yay, current news. And it's a story about how these role-playing groups are not just fighting themselves in the game. They're actually fighting the game itself. So there's 4 major role-play groups. There's the 5-0 New Responders. There's the Vultures, which are the Raiders. The Enclave Armed Forces, and then the Free States Militia, who, if you remember, we've talked about before when Facebook banned their Facebook group because they thought they were an actual militia. So yeah, these are the 4 factions, and apparently they have these really large orchestrated battles that they all kind of agree to a contextual narrative. Like the head of the Vultures was captured, so the person who actually has that character can't play him until he is rescued in a, you know, a raid or something. So they have these giant PvP battles, and depending on outcomes, like forts get destroyed, or like camps get destroyed, land changes hands, outposts change hands, you know, workshops change, you know, hands, who controls what workshop. And it's this really, really deeply orchestrated command structure for some of these. The Enclave Discord server has a very militaristic structured thing where you, in order to rank up, you actually have to go out and perform missions and do different things. So it's really cool to see these guys do that. But what happened is when Bethesda kind of pulled back on the PvP, their giant battles got a little weird, to say the least. And so I have a quote from the article here, and it says, "Unfortunately, the sad fact is PvP is utterly broken in Fallout 76, says the Warlord. There are multiple severe bugs and glitches in PvP that have been around for months, in some cases over a year. Bethesda seems unable or unwilling to fix. VATS doesn't work in PvP. Numerous weapons inflict 0 damage on other players. High-level endgame armor sets like Secret Service do nothing to prevent one-shot kills against certain weapons. Entire perk builds have become completely nullified and redundant because the bugs disable them and will seemingly never be repaired by the developers." And yes, Bethesda has a big shift away from the PvP aspects of this game, which in some regards is sad, and in some regards, for those of us who just wanted to frolic around the radiated tulips without getting shot at every 5 seconds by someone who's structured their build to kill other players, it's nice. The beta PvP survival server I thought was a good honeypot for those who just wanted to either troll or do this roleplay sort of battle thing where they wanted to set up bases and whatnot. But yeah, so I saw this article and I thought it was really funny where not only are they're really trying to create their own world inside of this playground where battles mean something. The landscape changes depending on who wins or who loses, and they have story arcs and things like that. And I always thought this was cool because you have major groups of people orchestrating to do this sort of thing. But now they're trying to figure out other PvP options than just combat to circumvent the issues that they're having with like getting one shot from a pipe pistol versus like getting 0 damage from a rocket launcher or whatever the issues may be. So, I thought this article was interesting from Polygon, where it's like the war focus has shifted from the actual PvP to fighting the game. And I hope in some regard that Bethesda does plan on bringing back a PvP server. I think that, especially for something like this, or if they allow full PvP on private servers and increase the limit of players, because these sort of things need to exist, in my opinion, in order to keep a game vibrant and alive. It would be really amazing to walk around and see a platoon of new Enclave soldiers, or like one of these battles. It'd be really cool to pop on a server and see like 8 dudes from 2 factions battling it out, you know what I mean? And having an actual PvP battle, but we won't get that really in the way that in the state of the game is now. So, if you're interested in role playing, you check out one of those 4 groups. They're very awesome. I've spoken with, I think, one of the reps from the Enclave, and they're really friendly. They are very regimented as far as like when you're role playing, you are role playing. So if you're into that sort of thing, it's definitely a way to go. So yeah. Plus, it's another community too. So yeah, that's that one. All right, are you ready to find out what you can sink your ballistic
My atoms? How to spin my atoms? I've got some atoms that are burning a hole in my pocket, Rick.
Good.
What can I do with them?
They're irradiated, so that's why they're burning a hole in your pocket. And here's what you can do with them. You can shove them up into the digital sphere by buying stuff in the Atom Shop this week. And yeah, this is for the 15th. All right, I just wanted to see where we were on the time frame of this. All right, the free items that you can get in the Atom Shop this week are the Shelters poster, and that's available until NA, whenever that happens. And then the Brotherhood of Steel infantry uniform, Fallout First only, is available until January the 5th. Moving on, these shelters are now in place. And like real life, we're all sheltering in place. It's kind of meta that. Anyway, if you want to get the free shelter, you go to a train station, you just look at the poster like everything else. Otherwise, you could go to the Atom Shop and you can buy the Atrium shelter for 1,800 atoms. You can get the lobby shelter for free if you're a Fallout First member. And yeah, then there's the stuff that you can put inside the shelter, like the shelter mainframe bundle, which is 1,500 atoms. You can get the modular mainframe set as well for 700, the Vault Tech Locker Bay for 500, the Deco Carpeteria set for 300, the Vault Lighting Lamp Kit for 300, the Artificial Tree for 250, and the Wall-Mounted Deck Fan for 250 as well. The Shelter's Mainframe Bundle, which I think is set as 1,500 atoms, has the modular mainframe set, the deck-mounted utility fan, the Deco Carpeteria set, the Vault Lighting Lamp Kit, the Artificial Tree, and the Locker Bay included. Let's see here. There's another item that you can get, the Wasteland Trapper outfit, that's available until December 15th for 900 atoms. Greatest hits. There's some stuff in here that you can get that was previously available and is again now. The Western Bar Bundle is 1,500 atoms. The Slocum Joe's Camp Bundle is on sale, 20% off. It's now 1,200 atoms. The Future Tech World Globe Bundle is 960 atoms. The Basic Power Armor Paint Set is 400 atoms. The Responders Camp Bundle is 840. The Nuka-Cola Secret Door Bundle is 840. And the Nuka Girl Rocket Suit is 840, as well as the Caravan Trader Outfit, 630. There's a lot of different bundles if you want to grab a bunch of items for a lower price. Boom, there you go. Things that are headed for the vault. They will be going away December 15th. That is the Toxic Barrel Cactus for 500 atoms. The Red Rocket Diner Set for 560. You know, I bought this and never bothered to use it. No, I bought the donut one. The donut one is what I got.
You never used the donut one?
I didn't use any of those. I was like, I'll build
I
a
love
diner.
the donut stuff. The
Was-
donut stuff's great.
I know, but like I built a quasi Playboy mansion, so like that wouldn't have fit.
Right. Yeah.
It's no longer the quasi play. I'm still rebuilding after the Halloween thing. I just haven't had inspiration. Anyway, you can get the Red Rocket Power Connector set for 250 atoms, the First Responders Pump Action Shotgun skin for 250, Hot Rodder Pip-Boy Paint skin for 280, the Villainous Velvet Curtain set for 240. That one has been tempting
What
me.
makes the curtains villainous?
They're like a deep blood red color.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been tempting me. Since it doesn't look like... Here's where I'm nervous, right? All of this, a lot of this is disappearing on the 15th, and I don't know what's coming next, and I'm holding my atoms for Christmas decorations.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like cautious, like, are they going to include Christmas decorations or not? Because I want to buy stuff, but I don't want to miss some of these things. So I don't know. I'm in this weird conundrum. Anyway, more stuff leaving on the 15th. The Hot Rodder Pip-Boy skin for 280 atoms. Oh, I said those already. The Spiked Barricade for 200 atoms. The Devilish Player Icon for 75. And the Gatling Gun Player Icon for 10. Some weekly offers that they've got. Oh, looks like there is some Christmas
some
stuff in
Christmas
here.
things,
Oh, goody,
yeah.
goody, goody. We have the animatronic Waving Santa, mine. These are all available until December 15th, which makes me wonder if they're going to put more out, too. You know what I mean? Like, this is the clearance rack at Walmart.
Would.
So, animatronic Santa is 350 atoms. The Winter Brick Fireplace is 350. The Gingerbread Couch, 240. The Gingerbread Table, 160. The Gingerbread Chair is 160 as well. The Candy Cane Walking Cane model, 250 atoms. The Elf Girl Player Icon is 25. The Elf Boy Player Icon is 25. And the Winter Vending Machine for Fallout First members only is 70% off at 150 atoms. If you have some atomic atoms burning a hole in your pocket, boom, there you go. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our gameplay. So I finally started redecorating my camp after tearing down from the Halloween festivities that I've done. It's only taken like a month and a half. I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. The small area up top on the second floor just seemed too small to have a bar and a rec area and a seating area all at the same time. So I've expanded into the open space above my little water area to include another deck. Then on one side I'll have a rec seating area, on the other side I'll have a bar kind of thing, you know, like a lounge. And that way I can have the best of both worlds, and I have some place to put my video games. The problem is I put a wall to try to create a roof, right? I was trying to create this certain roof, and I put a wall up to put a half, like, slanted roof thing on. And it didn't work out, so I deleted the slant roof, but now I can't delete the wall. It's like,
Oh,
if you
dear.
delete the wall, things will be inaccessible. And I'm like, there's nothing attached to it. So I got frustrated and quit, and that's where I left off. So now that these Christmas decorations are out, I might go back into it tonight, buy a few things, and work on some redecoration. But beyond that, Shaline, I have finally completed my endgame armor set.
Oh, really? Tell me
Yes.
about it.
So, other than the helmet, because that's not technically armor anymore for some reason, I have the full kit of Secret Service armor, along with fully modded damage resistance and threshold increase. I think bolstered. Every item is bolstered. And then I have the deep pocket mod on everything else too. So it's got everything. It's
Those deep
excellent.
pockets are wonderful.
I know. And so yeah, I've got my Secret Service. It took a while to get there because I'm not a super grindy player for the gold bullion. So then I was like, what am I going to spend my gold on? You know, I've got all this gold flying around. What am I going to do? Well, I could try getting a endgame gun. So I decided to try out the Gauss minigun, and boy, howdy, the Gauss minigun goes brrr, and it's awesome. And I haven't gotten all the mods yet. I did get one mod. I read the table wrong, and I was like, this mod adds 15 damage. Well, no. It adds like 15 something, but takes away 10 damage, so it actually does less damage. So that was a bummer. But I have to get a couple of the mods for it. But it's pretty good. And the way that the Gauss thing works is when you buy the plan, you build it, and it gives you a legendary version. And I built all of them. I had like a bunch of legendary modules, and I just used all of them to try to get a build, and I got one bloodied out of it. So I was like, you're the chosen one. The rest of you are going to get sold. And it's an okay one. It does bloodied, obviously. It does 250 damage resistance while reloading, and I think it does limb damage, I think is the other one. So it's okay.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It melts stuff, though. So I can't wait to get like the prime receiver. The problem is the 2mm electric cartridges. They're my issue with it is it's like the 5mm ammo where it uses one per shot. But the thing with the 5mm ammo is when you craft it, if you have all the crafting perks on, you can craft 450 a pop for the same cost as crafting like 150. But with the Electra, the 2mm stuff, it's the same quantity as if you were rebuilding it for your shotgun or the rifle or the pistol. It's like 30 at a time, even with all the perks. But this is a minigun, and it uses so much ammo so fast. I feel like they either need to increase how much electromagnetic cartridges you build per build, or they should turn it into a fusion system like the Gatling gun for the laser or the plasma, where it's a core, and it has like 300 rounds per core. Like, that would be awesome. So that, I think, is going to be eventually my daily ops gun because of the ammo replenishing system. But until then, I'm going to use my explosive LMG that you've given me in daily ops, because that thing, it's the prime LMG receiver on explosive gun, and that thing is just...
It's a great LMG, isn't it?
It's great. It's excellent. I love that thing. So, yeah. Daily ops are fun. I like running those with you guys. I wish we could run more that were, at least give you something. I've been trying to grind for tickets to hand in to get gold bullion. I forget what they're called at the moment, but
Treasury notes.
Treasury notes, jeez. I've been trying to grind for those whenever I play and do all the public events and stuff. Ooh, I've been outfit hunting. You guys, Shaline is so obsessed with unique outfits that I have decided to help her on this endeavor. So you've been searching for certain color, and this will just lead into your gameplay, but you've been searching for certain colored nurse uniforms, right?
Yes, there's a whole set of different colors of nurse uniforms and hats that you can get. You can find them at the Insane Asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've been scouring the Insane Asylum as well, because the scoreboard's over. I've beat Brotherhood of Steel, so it's like, what am I going to do besides public events and help Shaline find outfits?
Yes.
But it's weird.
I mean, that's friendship right there. I mean, he's digging through an Insane Asylum looking for hats for me. I
did find you a hat.
You did find me a hat.
Which one was it? The brown?
I think it was the brown one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. I haven't found hardly any of the outfits, but
tough.
I have almost all of the hats.
It's weird when I deliver nurse outfits to Jim Justice, who has purple hair and whatnot, because I'm like, why do you need these nurse outfits? And as I look up from saying that, he's running away going, no reason. I can only imagine what he's doing with all these nurse outfits. But anyway, what have you been doing?
Well, aside from collecting nurse outfits, I've had a ton of fun working on my outfit collection. I have a spreadsheet that Archon gave me with all of the collectible outfits, and there's a whole bunch of different colorways of hard hats. So I've been visiting Foundation pretty regularly.
Colors of hard hats?
Yeah, there's a gray one and a black one and a blue one and a red one and an orange one. So I have a little hard hat collection as well.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so many different fun outfits and hats. And they don't weigh that much. So I decided to just assemble a complete collection. And it's been going really well. It's been a lot of fun. So
okay.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's see. Did
you see what Mobius said in the chat? Sorry, he likes collecting mining hats because you can change the colors of the headlamps.
Huh?
I did not know you could do that.
I knew that because Archon gave me a mining hat with a really extra bright light. It has a super bright light on it.
Huh. I used to like changing the headlamp in the power armor in Fallout 4 to red because you know how I RP'd a little bit in. I RP'd myself every once in a while in Fallout 4. Because red, I don't know if you know this, but you know, like those L-shaped military flashlights that always shone red? The reason red light is what they were because it doesn't dilate your pupils. So if you flick it off real quick,
preserves your night vision.
Yeah, so if you flick it off real quick, your eyes don't adjust, or you don't have to adjust. So I always made it red, even though it didn't matter in the game. I was like, if I'm going to explore some abandoned facilities, this is going to be a red light, so my pupils don't have to dilate. Anyway.
That's too fun. But there are loads of fun outfits and stuff. Some of them are really rare drops. And it's going to take me ages to complete my outfit collection. Absolutely ages. But I'm in it for the long haul. I will have all of the fashion options. They will be mine. So I did start Steel Dawn. I know we've made a lot of jokes about how I'm not going to play through Steel Dawn until they've announced the next DLC.
It's true. It's probably going to be true, even though it takes an hour to get through it.
I know. It takes more than an hour.
All right, fine, an hour and a half.
But I did start Steel Dawn due to peer pressure. And I really like it so far. I haven't finished it yet. Maybe this weekend I'll have time to finish it.
Surprise.
But I've really enjoyed it. It's really good. I think it's been fascinating seeing the places that we've been hundreds of times in the world. They become occupied and they change, and they have a different feeling about them now than they did all of these other times that we visited these places. It's really interesting. I appreciate some of the things that they did in terms of contextual dialogue in Steel Dawn. They recognize if you have mutations. People recognize if you have mutations.
Oh, yeah, they do. They're like, what are you walking around here for, mutant?
Yeah, when I got to the Brotherhood of Steel, somebody was like, you really think they're going to let you in with that mutation you got there, Pilgrim?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, goodness, how can you tell? Like, it's I didn't think it was visible.
Marsupial, you have a tail, you know? Or at least a little nub.
Speaking of marsupial, so one of the locations that becomes occupied is in a treehouse. And so I hopped up into the treehouse, and one of the residents there said, Wait, did you just jump up here?
Yes, that happened to me too.
How did you do that?
I forgot about that. That's true. That happened to me too. And I was like, did they just acknowledge me?
I love that. I love that they recognize it and react to it in reasonable, because it's wild how high you can jump when you have marsupial. It's silly. And that's how you would react if you saw someone doing that. You would freak out.
You would be like that GIF, just like
so shocked. But of course, we're not going to go through story spoilers for Steel Dawn yet. No. It's too soon for that, because I am not the only one who doesn't play things right away.
No, but you're in the last 5% that haven't finished. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I am, though.
No, it's all right.
We know this.
Savor it. Don't finish it in a day.
Talk a bit about Scribe Valdez. Scribe Valdez is bae.
Yes.
I love Scribe Valdez.
Yep.
She's wonderful. She's so good. And aside from just being a fantastic character, I would like to talk about Scribe Valdez, because Scribe Valdez, I was taken aback when I saw her, because she's too pretty to be in a Bethesda game. Like, I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? They have worked on their facial modeling, their lip syncing, their animations. Bethesda has been doing some behind the scenes work here, because Scribe Valdez, she is far too pretty for a Bethesda game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they've been working on some things.
What's a girl like you doing in a game like this?
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's like
she was great. She was like the only one. But here's the thing: what's the word I'm looking for? The discord between Shin and lady, I can't remember her name.
Romani.
The juxtaposition between those two, the black and white aspect of them. And then you have Valdez, right? And I'm wondering how the three of them interact. And with the fact that most sane people would agree or really relate to Valdez, right? And I wonder if that's a big contributing factor to how much we dig Valdez. Like, what if she was just a normal NPC in the mix of, like, Fallout 3, if we would even notice, other than the fact that she's super pretty. But I was thinking about that because, like, there's nothing really... I don't know. Like, it's like Penny. It's like Scout Penny. For some reason, that one NPC, you just love him. You love him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you and
Scout
Dance.
Leader Penny is so good.
Yeah. I'd love to have Penny following me around. Just like every time I get shot at, she's like, oofda.
Don't forget the buddy system.
I'd love it. Anyway.
Yeah. But I've been enjoying that a lot. I really do like Scribe Valdez, in addition to the superficial parts that I've been discussing. She's also super smart and really friendly, and I like Scribe Valdez. I know people seem to love to hate Night Shin. I kind of like Night Shin. I feel like I would get along with Night Shin.
Yeah.
I feel like we would be friends.
He's very idealistic, and as you progress, you start to learn a little bit. Like, there was a moment where I'm like, man, this guy's... He just doesn't understand how the culture is in West Virginia and how people need to work together, right? There comes a moment where I'm like, you know what? This person's insane, so I'm going to go hang out with Shin. You know, there's a big moment where understanding how he got to where he is explained, and you're like, yeah, got it. So yeah,
I definitely feel like I would be kind of trying to hang out with Shin. I feel like I would be a little bit like a puppy dog, you know, just like, hey, how you doing there, buddy? Like, what's going on? What you doing? Yeah, I would be getting on his nerves. But I'm quite enjoying Steel Dawn. That's about all I have to say about it so far. I still have some more storyline to go through. I played around with shelters a little bit. I've built my free shelter and my Fallout First monocle top hat shelter. And they're fine. Like, I feel like... My immediate reaction to the shelters is a bit like the immediate reaction to Private Worlds. They aren't what I was expecting based on the way they were talking about it. Mm-hmm. You know, I felt like it was going to be just an additional camp space where I could put my magazine collection and put my workshops and stuff like that. And they don't work quite the way that I expected to. I can't put displays there. I can't put my ammo converter there, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of inconvenient having my workshop down there. But I'm not a builder. That's what it comes down to.
You're not Bob?
I'm not Bob. I don't build for the joy of it, you know. I build utilitarian structures. I decorate haphazardly.
You don't build utilitarian. You build
they're pink, but they're still utilitarian.
Your first house was a floor, walls, and then a door on one side just because you needed to get into it. Like, that's not that is worse than utilitarian. That's like authoritarian sanctioned housing.
I build simply.
We had to build the house for you.
You did. You had to, and thank you for doing it. Now I have a nice
Jessica
home.
Starr says Spartan. No, that's even more. Spartan is lavish compared to how Shaline would live.
Oh my goodness gracious! I was homeless for a long time before these guys took it upon themselves. To build me a home, but regardless, I do look forward very much to seeing what the people who do enjoy building, who do build for the joy of it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with these spaces, because they have turned off some of the building restrictions. The things we lose also come with boons in terms of the underground shelters. So clipping is no longer an issue. They no longer have to snap things in place. You can float things. So I definitely look forward to seeing what creative people do with these spaces. So last night I decided to take advantage of the double XP weekend. And you may remember my character Quesadilla, who I built strictly for the purpose of leveling up during the seasons. Well, I thought I would work on some PC achievements with Quesadilla. So I rolled through the Burning Mine quests, through the Responders quests. Quesadilla was level 16. All of her points have gone into intelligence to make her level up a little faster, because that's why I designed her character.
All right.
So she has no points in useful places. They're all in intelligence. She has very, very few things there.
What are you trying to say about smart people?
I mean,
you guys are smart, but you have no points in all the right places.
Exactly.
Your points are in all the wrong places.
Yes.
Your head.
That's the point. So I rolled through the Burning Mine and did the Fire Breathers quest and leveled up a couple of times. And gosh, I was low level. I didn't have great, tools or preparation or anything. And it was so easy running through the Belching Betty. Just, it was so easy. I never felt threatened. And I want to say, I think I liked this game better when it was hard, before they made it more accessible. And I understand that making that accessibility is a good thing for the player base, but I kind of liked it when there were areas you shouldn't go when you're a baby, and when you would tackle a place that was, you were swinging punches above your weight class, and you would pay for it. I liked that. And now there's very little challenge in terms of the early game. When you're a low level character, it just doesn't matter. You just steamroll things as a low level character. And I don't like that. I don't like some of the streamlining that they did to make the early quests more centrally located. I don't like it that much. I liked it better when it was hard. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm gonna let go. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Well, since everyone knows what I was going to do, and anyway, I'll let that fish flop. Anyway, I was going to say, I agree with you, but there's something that, we're not, like my parents used to tell me, you're never going to get that first time back. So when we go into these games, even with low level tunes, we still have an edge on newbies coming in for the first time, because we understand the mechanics, where to go to get things, how to shoot, where to shoot, what the weak points, like we still have an idea of what's supposed to be happening. So that's going to affect our performance curve. But I do agree with you, because there was that moment back when I waltzed into the Belching Betty and didn't even think about it, and all of a sudden I hit the button and I didn't pay attention to the mission. I just walked up and hit the big red button, the alarms go off and all the scorch come, and I'm like, I'm gonna die because this is hard. And Joseph Tao had to come to the rescue. Still one of my most memorable moments
of such a good memory.
Of looking up off the ground and there's a hero in power armor and it's Joseph Tao, and he's like, give me your hand, and he pulls me up and he escorts me.
Come with me if you want to live.
Pretty much. And so I agree with you.
Like the Belching Betty in particular, it's a little bit of an insult lore-wise to the fire breathers. You know what I mean? That this
all 6 of them died.
Breathers, they died horribly and they died bravely. But then you go in there and there's 2 scorched, 2 level 16 scorched. And
you're John Wicking through the whole thing.
You give them a stern look and they fall dead, and it feels like an insult to the fire breathers who died there.
It's like that scene with Michael Caine and Austin Powers when he beats up all the low level guys, and he's looking at the last one. He goes, "Just go ahead and lay down." He's like, "Look at what I did to those guys. Just put your gun down. Go ahead and lay down. That's it. Go ahead. There you go. Lay down." And the guy like just lays down. It's like that. It's just go ahead and fall over.
Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah,
so
it's. I do miss that. I agree with you. I like that they've level balanced it, but it's almost like it leans so easy towards the low levels these days.
Yeah, I almost feel like they overcorrected. I don't know.
Bethesda overcorrecting a problem?
I miss that survival feeling. I miss having fear. I feel like fear is something that should be endemic to a wasteland scenario. And the absence of it's changed the world for me. It's made the world feel a little bit different. So
it feels more survival now. Well, maybe that's just because I run a bloodied build, but it's harder as a high level character these days. You know, low levels are just one shot and stuff. So it's weird. It's a weird thing. I hope that they slowly tweak it.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, that's my gameplay. I just wanted to mention that I was thinking about it last night, and I thought, well, I have the perfect place to talk about that. So, shall we move on along to our next segment?
Sure. Yeah. I figured I was curious when I saw the season 3 pop up. And they talked about KD Inkwell, and that it's a reference to Astoundingly Awesome Tales. And I thought, I wonder if there's any lore behind this as far as referencing KD, or if this is just something they pulled out of the blue. So I went and looked up the Astoundingly Awesome Tales, and of course they were in Fallout 4, but I'm going to focus on the Fallout 76 versions here. So it's a magazine, like pulp series of sci-fi magazines that were put out in the pre-war era Fallout world in the United States, and it includes like monsters and mutants and Zetans. Actually, it was funny because this is before Zetans had shown themselves, but apparently the writer must have had some run-in with them because he references Zetans specifically.
My journal that has
crap.
the Astoundingly Awesome Tales cover on it.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah,
that's amazing. So yeah, there you go. And yeah, if you notice when you look at them either in 76 or Fallout 4, that the cover is unique to the issue and to what the story is. So like, for instance, the Zetans, that's the cover art there. The Starlit Sniper, it's the Sniper Girl. So like each one is specific to that. At the time, they cost a measly $29 per issue. They better be really good for that price.
Inflation was so out of control, though. Wasn't it like $30 for a donut?
Yeah. Did they ever say what minimum wage was? Like what people were earning?
I don't remember that.
That would be interesting to like have some reference to like what salaries were back then. Because if it was like, oh, minimum wage was like $50 an hour, it'd be like, oh, well, all right. That makes more sense. But I have a feeling it was not the case. I still have a feeling minimum wage was like $10 an hour, and pulp comics were $29. Anyway, each magazine, if you pick it up and read it, will give you a unique perk, and they last for 30 minutes. They will last for 60 if you have the curator perk. And just to go over a couple of them, there are 13 there are 13 awesomely astounding tales in Fallout 76 that you can get. Attack of the Fishmen, which I think is a reference to the Black Lagoon creature. But anyway, that particular magazine gives you damage versus Mirelurks plus 15%. The Drive-In Love Interrupted Rise of the Mutants gives you plus 15 damage against, you guessed it, super mutants. The Deep Sea Terror gives you double swim speed. That's kind of a junky one, unless you're trying to avoid rad damage. It's like, what do you need to swim away from? Anyway.
Well, I mean, there are so many of these that the perks can't all be amazing.
I know, but, it's just weird. If there was some deep sea exploration stuff, or not even sea, but if there's like deep lake exploration stuff, maybe then. Invasion of the Zetans, which you have. 25% damage with the alien blaster. When apes go bananas, a gorilla ate my patrol car. That gives you what? That gives you plus 25 damage with the cryolator?
Wow.
Wow. Okay. My brain and I, health regen plus 0.2. The man who could stop time. Max AP plus 5. Attack of the Metal Man plus 25 25% less damage from robots. Have Dog Will Travel, plus 15 poison resistance. The Starlit Sniper, plus 15% damage with scoped weapons. Curse of the Burned, plus 15 damage to ghouls. That's weird that they didn't use Scorched for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Giant Insects Invade, disease chance goes down by 30%. Because why would you put damage multipliers towards bugs? On that one, Rise of the Radiated, plus 30, Radaway effectiveness. So each one has its own unique effect. They last 30 minutes apiece, like I said. They are easily found, because we know this firsthand, with the Panopictographist perk. They make a little boinky noise when you're near one, and as long as they're not glitched through the floor or between the bed and the wall, you'll be able to find them just fine. You had a technique for finding glitched magazines, didn't you, Shaline?
Well, it was more Arshan's technique than mine, but when they would glitch through the ground, you can usually get them to pop out with the use of explosives.
I like that. All of the magazines in Fallout 76 have the same cover art as the ones found in Fallout 4, yet the perks changed a little bit with the nature of the game. The in-game versions of the art are torn because they've lasted through a war. But if you look on the Art of Fallout 4, they all have clean versions, so you can check them out in their pre-war glory. Most issues are a play on IRL sci-fi. I got a couple here for you. The name of the magazine was taken from pulp science fiction stories back in the day, such as Amazing Stories and Weird Tales. Rise of the Mutants cover has a license plate that reads 4LLOWT4, which in Leet spells Fallout 4, and Bethesda, Maryland, referencing the name of Fallout 4. And Bethesda, Maryland is where the headquarters of Bethesda Game Studios is. The Man Who Could Stop Time is a play on the fact that the player character can effectively stop time using VATS, at least it was in Fallout 4. The title, Have Dog Will Travel, is modeled after the phrase made by popular Have Gun Will Travel, which was an old radio western that ran back in the day. The Invasion of the Zetans references Fallout 3 add-on Mothership Zeta and the UFO crash site in 4 and the alien gun that you can get in the game in 76. The Man Who Could Stop Time is suspected to be a reference to an episode of Twilight Zone where he can use a stopwatch to stop time. And Attack of the Fisherman, like I said, could be a reference to a 1954 movie, Creature from the Black Lagoon. So I have such a love for old school sci-fi and monster flicks that I would love like 10 prints of all these in my room. These Astounding Awesome Tales, because they all look dope.
Oh yeah, they're great. They're great.
Do they have 10 prints of these?
I don't know.
Somebody should make that.
They should.
Most issues are So on season 3, this kind of brings me back to the question that I had when I was looking at season 3's Astoundingly Awesome Tales, KD Inkwell. That is not a part of the line of magazines in print. So this is a kind of a created thing that they've come up with just for season 3. And apparently it follows volume 101 of The Scribe of Avalon of the Astoundingly Awesome Tales series, The Atomic Chronicles of KD Inkwell. Shaline. KD.
Yeah.
KD Radio. It's all about. No, I'm kidding. No, so the Atomic Chronicles of Katie Inkwell, following a time-traveling historian, Alistair, the Scribe Sinnock, which I think when we were seeing this stuff kind of mined in the game, we were seeing Sinnock, who's a scribe, but we were like, oh, it's an alien. Maybe it has something to do with the monolith puzzle, which, by the way, I don't think anyone's found out anything else about that.
No one's figured that out.
And they will be fighting barbarians and discovering technologies of the Round Table. So, this is just kind of like a standalone little thing that they're doing. It has nothing to do with the magazines as far as the ones that give you the perks, but it is part of that. I think Hubris Comics was the publisher of Astoundingly Awesome Tales, so it is part of that kind of lore. But it's its own little standalone specific to season 3.
Sounds good.
Jessica,
that was lovely.
Jessica Starr points out that yes, she also agrees it's a Doctor Who reference, but more so a River Song reference, where in the Doctor Who lore, River Song is not a Time Lord per se, but she does have the ability to travel through history with a little wristwatch thing, and the Doctor did give her a sonic screwdriver, and she was a historian. She was an archaeologist in the show. So now that she mentioned it, it is very much a River Song, Doctor Who'sy kind of thing. And I think that's pretty cool. Too bad there's not like an actual like quest line that follows that a little bit. Like, it'd be cool. But anyway, that's all I have for the lore.
Lovely. Thank you, Rick.
Question, Shaline. You're an avid magazine collector. Do you use them at all?
Never.
I don't think I ever really used a magazine in earnest.
Yeah, I've used them before a couple of times. When I get over encumbered, I'll go through my aid to like what can give me 10 more pounds of carry weight. And occasionally I'll find there's a Grognak that gives you 10 pounds, and there's a Scout's Life that gives you 10 pounds. But other than that, I almost never use them.
Yeah, I feel like that is the case with like most, like the food in 76. Like I never really eat it for the added effects. The magazines I don't use. The bobbleheads I never used. In all of the Fallouts, I never ever use them. Because I feel like if I'm in the middle of a fight and I'm like, oh, this magazine will give me like 0.01+% in damage, I'll save a bullet. I'm not going to deal with it. I'll just shoot him 3 more times. But I went in our chat room too. I'm curious if you use magazines for their intended benefits. It'd be really interesting to see that, because I don't know anyone who does.
Vossel says she puts them in her camp bathroom so people have something to read in there.
See, that's I think more so the point is to collect them, and then once you're done collecting, there's a reason to pick them up because you just use them. But
I preferred in Fallout 4 when you just got the bonus and had the bonus.
yes, yeah.
It was a passive thing instead of reading it for a temporary bonus.
Yeah. I will always appreciate passive perks over active perks. It's less to think
Same.
about. So I don't need to hotkey anything else in order to use it. All right. Well, that is the conclusion of our lore segment there. And it's official that no one ever uses magazines for their intended benefits. They just collect them. So, yeah. Any announcements closing? We have on Sunday, I think we're going to do it this Sunday, Survival Horror Sunday, which will effectively end the canonical run of Left 4 Dead 1 with, I think, Coldstream is the one that will be running that Sunday. Are we good for Sunday? I'm good.
I'm good for Sunday.
Good, there we are. And then also the 17th of next week, if you're in the Discord, I run a radio show on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Discord channel that we have, or the Discord server that we have. And this particular Thursday night, I'll be doing a Christmas special. Well, I'll be spinning. It's a vinyl-only thing, so everything you hear is coming straight from vinyl. Not that that makes a difference, but it's just kind of my rule. And so I have a bunch of Christmas vinyl. I'll be playing that. So join us if you're on the Discord. Join us Thursday night at 8 p.m. there. You can tweet at the show at That Fallout Show. You can tweet at the network at We Just Love Games. You can tweet at me at Rick McVick. You can tweet at Shaline at Shaline L, and Vendertron at Vendertron N. If you're on Facebook, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/thatfalloutshow or groups/thatfalloutshow. You can follow our network on Facebook at facebook.com/WeJustLoveGames or groups/WeJustLoveGames. You can email us, especially when it comes to the challenge that Shaline has bestowed upon you. You can email us that challenge or any commentary that you have, as long as it's good. No, I'm just kidding. You can email us anything you want at info@wejustlovegames.com. Like this video and subscribe to us on youtube.com/wejustlovegames. You can find our show on iTunes and Stitcher Radio and anywhere podcasts are found. If we're not on your favorite aggregate, please let us know. I will try to do our best to get on there as well. We record live every other Friday. Actually, I should say That Followed Show records live every other Friday at 6:30 Mountain, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. On the other days, we do our show Game Stack. Same time, same place. Check out that show when you can. We also do Twitch streams as well on Sundays or whenever we feel like it. Also, by the way, if you want to get on the Discord, send us a private message on any of the social media platforms or send us an email and we'll get you hooked up with the Discord. Thank you so much for listening. And Shaline, what is your last word?
I've got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.